Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I just noticed, well, on the forums after some of my videos of me going 3D, I'm not saying that I spurred people on, but I thought it might be interesting to see how we can transition to 3D, because that opens up a whole new avenue of stuff. Let me just get this sorted. And so on your Flywings, you've obviously got GPS ATI, then you've also got 6G mode, and you've got full 3D. Now, I would highly recommend getting yourself another radio, right? It is doable with the other one, okay, but this has just got so much more to it that you can swindle the H1 or H-Ace or whatever and put a pitch curve on, and that's going to be quite important, because normally if you're hovering in ATI mode, your stick will be in the center. Yeah, I hope this isn't shot. And as soon as you switch to 6G mode, you'll be hovering about here. Okay, at about 70%. So how can we fix that? Well, ideally with a pitch curve, but as soon as you put a pitch curve on the H1s or any H module, it won't arm, because it sees there's a deviation. And I've tried this and it just doesn't work. But on one of these radios there is a way to do it, and I've made a video on how to do that. And then you can start it up normally, and as soon as she's spooled up, you can flick your pitch curve on, yeah, and then you can hover in the center. Now that makes a massive difference. So what can we do in 6G? Well, 6G is stabilized, yeah, but it's got no altitude hold. So how does that help us? Well, we're used to, of course, with a radio like this, I would highly recommend not having a springy stick here. This needs to be able to go to the bottom. Otherwise you'll be fighting this all the time. You'll be maybe like a fraction over, and it's just not comfortable, whereas this, it can be anywhere and it just stays wherever it needs to stay. So okay, on this machine I've got a Nexus, which for the intent of this video makes absolutely no difference, because I also have angle mode here, which is essentially 6G. It's the same thing. So it's stabilized but no altitude. So now when you're flying, if you flick it here and flick it there, it'll always stabilize here. But now the only thing that you're going to be doing really that's new is learning to hold the altitude. So let's boot her up, and it's a little bit windy here today, but for the purpose of this video, not going to make any difference. So here we go.
Ready to fly. Preamp active. And.
So we're in 6G mode, yes. So here we go. So heavily stabilized, you can see. Okay, see it's stabilizing there. So all I'm doing now is managing the altitude. Okay, so this is going to take quite a bit of getting used to, but the saving grace here is that you A, can't tilt it too far, and B, that it still stabilizes. Yeah. So now you can just get used to flying as you would your normal circuits which might just be a little loop, or a little, not a loop, but you know, just a little something. And all we're actually doing is making sure that the helicopter stays at a height, that it doesn't fly too far too high, doesn't drop too low, and all that good stuff. And you can do this on your Flywing. It's got the 6G mode, but I would highly recommend getting a better radio, although initially you could just give it a go. Now if you set the radio up the way I suggest, if you watch my video, you can, with a flick of a switch, you can go immediately to ATI mode, which will be your saving grace, or GPS, whatever you've got handy. Yes, I find this actually very weird to fly, because I've been flying in manual mode for the last couple of weeks. But I wanted to just show you now the fact that this is a Nexus makes no difference. You can see it stabilizes there. Okay. I do have my pitch curve active, so I'm hovering at just on half stick. I don't know if you can see that. Just on half stick. Let's just get out of this guy's way. So I recommend you just start here, so that your brain is not doing 6 things at once. Okay. And you not having to worry about overcooking the angles. Yeah. And you're just learning to maintain an altitude, because that is now your only thing that is actually new. So it's one thing at a time. Yeah. So let's fly a little bit. I got quite a heavy wind here.
4 minutes.
See how it goes up there? That's the wind holding it there, doing the thing. So your job is just to keep it nice and to your level, of course, you know. I mean, don't overdo it. Okay, so once you have that done and you're confident that you're keeping it, you're managing to keep a nice altitude. Now it is windy, so it is popping up and down and dipping. So that ideally do this on a wind still day if you can. Yeah. So now I'm going to flick to manual mode. So I'm going to do that here.
3 minutes. Trainer.
So now when I say manual mode, I've still got, look, on the Nexus you can do this. You can set an angle limit. Okay. So as you see there, it just stops there, so you can't overcook it. But what I am doing now is I'm also correcting the collective. But that took me quite a few batteries. And with the Nexus, I'm not saying that you can't do this with your H1s and whatever. Of course you can. And of course I could go to full 3D now and nothing really would change, because I'm not yanking the sticks. I'm not trying to do loops and anything else. All I'm trying to do now is correct the attitude and recorrect it when it so I'm not relying on self-stabilization. I am basically controlling where it goes. Of course, in 3D mode, if you push it forward and the sticks go to the center, of course the collective is sprung. That doesn't mean it corrects, it just keeps going. See, look at that. See, look at this, it'll just keep going like this until you correct it. Yeah. So with this method, I'm not saying this is the method, of course, and I'm not talking about flying squares and circles. I'm talking about just getting the hang of flying in 3D mode. Now, why on earth would you want to do that? Well, once you've got it nailed, I mean, you've seen the videos of the guys doing stall turns and all sorts of stuff, and you can only do that once you're in control. If the computer's flying it for you, all you're basically doing is
1 minute.
pointing it in a direction, and the controller's doing everything else for you, which is nice. I mean, you're flying a helicopter in essence, but are you really flying it? Not really. So I find that this method really helped me to transition, it's very windy, into 3D mode. And also I've got my little pitch curve going here, exactly the same. Exactly the same. Look, I'm by no means confident yet. Okay, there's my battery. So I'm going to land it in 3D mode. Makes no difference. Just find a nice spot. Oopsie.
5, 4, 3, descent.
Now, so there we had that, guys. I really recommend, even if you get a basic HTX radio, as this one is probably the entry level. It's got everything you need and more to progress. Particularly much better gimbals, yeah. Particularly programmable functions that the H1 with the standard radio just cannot do. As I said, the H1 doesn't like pitch curves, and I'll show you what I got here.
Welcome to HTX. Angle mode. Low
Show you what I got
descent.
here. Let's go here quickly. Now, when I go to center here, okay, you can see that so this last channel here is my pitch, but you'll see at the center here, which that is, give or take, I've got already some pitch going there, you see, and that's because I have this pitch curve here. There we go, that's my pitch curve, you see, and I actually need to move this fourth one down slightly, a little bit down, because it's a little bit lax in the center. It hasn't got quite enough kick right here. I want just a bit more, so I can just move that, but that down slightly. Now on the Nexus you can bake it in, it doesn't care if you've got a pitch curve, yeah. On the H versions, Flywings, you cannot have a pitch curve natively. You have to go to a different fly mode, which this can then do. So it's like turns a page. Everything else stays the same, but on that channel it turns a page, yeah. And then you can once you're because when you turn the page, then that pitch is not in the first page of that channel in the mix, yeah. And then it'll arm, and then only when you activate it, I keep calling it a page, it'll fold the page over with that pitch curve in it, and then the H1 is already running, it doesn't care. So that's how I got around that, but I've made a video on that. But yes, I reckon definitely get yourself a better radio. That's going to help you immensely. And also I mean, this is not expensive, guys. It's cheap. If you've got a 3D printer, yeah, print yourself this this test bed. You don't have to put the cover on. So if you're trying to do this on your beautiful Bell or whatever it is, you know, you're going to shit yourself. But if you dump this, you know, you're going to just 3D print something. And if you don't have a 3D printer, you can always farm it out. I mean, to print these few parts is really not expensive, but it's going to save you another worry. Let me switch the radio off. Another worry about maybe crashing your beautiful Heli, you know. So I'm not trying to sell these, but I mean, I'm just suggesting this might be a way to go. It's very visible, as you've seen, and I've been flying this now almost a year. I've got my little torch on here, which I actually didn't switch on. I didn't switch on in the flight. There it is. Because when it's a bit far away, I battle to see the orientation exactly. I'd like to fly again, but it's just way too windy. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So there we go, guys. That's how I'm progressing, and I hope this video gives you a little bit of confidence to start moving on past the automated flights. Thanks, till next time.